Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to HOTFIX. It has been a long time, Mr. Kirioff, but finally we are back with an episode of HOTFIX. This may look slightly different than it did before, although you can see it's kind of the same thing. You know, we've got the webcams on the go, we've got the rest of that. And also,
close enough, son.
Yeah, close enough. And also, though, I've got a little, I have to say this because I'm obsessed about quality. There may be some fan noise in the background. If there is, just ignore it. It won't hurt you. This is because of the way this is being recorded. Time is against us, so we've had to use like a dodgy method. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, so as you've probably guessed by the title of this video and the massive title above our heads, which says our YouTube future, this video is about the recent issues that have hit gaming YouTube channels. And obviously, not obviously, but if you've watched the previous video we made, or I made on, it was the copyright video. It wasn't really in response to Total Biscuit's video because it came out before his video, but it was in response to what I could see happening in the community at the time. But I did kind of go into detail the experience we've had with the YouTube copyright system, but I'm going to go into way more detail now because I think this will be a little bit more of an eye-opener. So the situation is, everybody knows by now about the Gary's incident, as it's being called around the internet, where Total Biscuit had a video taken down where he did a what the fuck is video, his first impression series, and the dev didn't like what he said about their game. And because obviously he's got quite a lot of power, you know, the guy gets hundreds of thousands of views on his videos and has got millions of subscribers, well over 1 million I think. They didn't like that video, so they had it removed, Mr. Kirioff, and that's pretty shit, okay?
Not clever either.
No, it's not. But that video, you know, has since been reinstated and yada, 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 yada. But there's been a bit more fallout from the whole situation. So a channel called Nukem Jukem had, I believe, his entire channel was taken down because somebody decided to abuse the YouTube copyright system. And essentially the way it works is if you get one copyright strike, which is what I've had in the past, and I'll go into detail on my... I guess our situation a little bit later. If you get two, I believe you get locked out of the account for a period of, I think it's 2 weeks or something like that. It's more severe than getting one, obviously. If you get three, you get shut down. Like, you're gone. Your YouTube channel's gone. Which is like, well, that's bad. I mean, okay, you can recover the YouTube channel if you belong to a certain network and stuff like that. But yeah, that's obviously pretty bad. So somebody abused that and had him taken down. Now, whether that's because Total Biscuit mentioned him in the video he made about the whole incident, we don't know. But that's all I really want to talk about, that incident, because to be honest, you know, I don't want to sit here and just talk about that because that's been done to death. What I want to talk about is how this kind of, well, it like directly impacts Unit Lost. So I'm going to go into some detail now. This may bore you to sleep, but hopefully it won't. I'm looking at Mr. Kirioff and he's laughing, the scumbag. But, okay, so let's talk about Unit Lost as if it's a business, okay? It is a business, but just imagine it's not an entertainment thing, it's just a business, a pure business, right? You're looking at about between like 60, 70, 80% of income. I'm not going to reveal the exact stat because I do have it. Of the entire Unit Lost company comes from YouTube, okay? So that means we have to be displaying adverts on YouTube. If we're not, then we're not making like over 60% of our company's revenue every month, which is obviously pretty bad if you just suddenly lose that amount of revenue. So
that's the kind of thing where for a smaller channel, I mean, in fact, no, for any channel, that's pretty much world ending. I mean, it doesn't matter how much you're earning. If you suddenly lose 60 to 70% of what you're earning, like one day, just suddenly gone, that you're not going to enjoy that, especially if it's something like...
Well, yes, but 60-70%. I mean, that's just in our case. In other cases, they may only be a YouTube channel, so in fact, it's 100%. It could be less. They may have other stuff we don't know. But the worrying thing is, well, I mean, I guess we'll touch on that, what you've just said. I mean, if a bigger channel can weather the storm a lot better. So if you've got, I mean, the same applies to any kind of business. If you've got massive cash reserves or you have a lot of cash, you're not essentially, I guess, using a Americanism, living paycheck to paycheck, for want of a better description. You can sit there and go, well, that's okay. I've been hit by this. I can sort of fight this. I might be able to pick up lawyers. I've got more power in the network I'm part of, yada, yada, yada. So they can kind of deal with it better. Where what worries me, what happens if Unit Lost gets hit with three copyright strikes out of nowhere from YouTube's automated claim system being abused.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
there was actually quite a good example of a large channel weathering the storm. I mean, obviously, Total Biscuit didn't have his channel shut down or anything, but a similar thing was it wasn't the copyright system, but when the Yogscast got flagged for something.
oh
And their channel
yes, no,
disappeared for a couple of
yes,
days.
yes.
Now it's not strictly the same because it wasn't copyright strikes. That was a community thing that someone flagged them for, saying that it was owned by a 12-year-old, which is like hilariously inaccurate in every single way. But even for a bigger company, like they could obviously weather the storm because they're not a small channel by any means, and of course they've got the support of the network behind them. But still, even if you are a larger channel and you do have some reserves, and you know you've got I guess backup, it's still at the very least a massive inconvenience. And for a smaller channel like us, it's pretty much world ending because we don't
yeah.
have the resources for just sitting there and sitting it out and just waiting.
So okay,
That's
well,
like,
people are probably listening to this. Well, you're part of Polaris. We've seen other people go Polaris. You know, they've done this and that for us, and they got us out of these problems. Well, to my knowledge, Polaris is the best network on YouTube in probably every single category. It probably just is. The amount of support they give me is pretty damn good. But let me give you an example of my let's say bad time I had with a copyright claim system on YouTube. So, a trailer came out for Battlefield 4. Okay, so I had the idea of using the trailer as background footage in a video where I speak about the graphical differences of Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. Now, the video had comparison footage from Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, and it was showing how they're kind of similar. You know, visually, it didn't really look that much different. And that was kind of the video. It was critical to a point. It wasn't overly critical, because, I mean, Battlefield 3 still looks like a good game to get rid of that horrendous glare, which they have done in, well, they have done to some extent. And there's actually colour in the game in Battlefield 4. It's not like blue, like everything was blue in Battlefield 3. But whatever. So I made this video, yeah? Now you might say, well, Sty, why are you using a trailer, right? Well, my copyright agreement states that I can use gaming footage, right? Polaris, this is to my knowledge, Polaris go out there, get agreements with every major publisher, any publisher and all that rest of that stuff, to allow them to monetize that content, because we produce the videos, Polaris monetize the videos, we have a revenue share with Polaris. That is why we give them money. You know, in our contract, there's a percentage split because they deal with the copyright stuff, okay? So this is gaming footage, you know, it's fair game. It's a trailer in the public domain. This is not something, you know, I've gone and secretly recorded somewhere or I've ripped off somewhere I shouldn't have done. It was a trailer in the public domain. It is a, you know, that I'm covered. I'm totally covered. So I make the video, I put the video out there. Wake up the next morning, go to log into my YouTube account, and it comes up with, you've got a copyright infringement on your account. And I'm like, excuse me. So I go through it, and it says that the video in question is the Battlefield 4 video I made. And I'm like, hang on a minute, why the hell is this? Like, and it was claimed by EA. I'm like, whoa, why is this claimed by EA? This is just gaming footage, you know what I mean? What's going on here? So you can, the way the system works is you can write a counterclaim to say, oh no, you've got this wrong. So I wrote out a complete counterclaim. You know, I'm part of Polaris, I've got this, blah, blah, well, I think it was the game station at the time. I've got this, I've got that, you know, it should be fine. And the response to that was, have a copyright strike. Like, immediately, I was like, oh my God. When I received the copyright strike, it told me that if I do not remove this video, right, legal action will be taken against me. And I'm like, what? So, obviously, like Kiri was just saying about like being a smaller channel and depending on the income, what do you think my natural reaction is? As soon as I see that, I delete the video. I'm like, oh shit, I delete the video. You know, I've never had a copyright strike before, but I deleted that video because I'm like, fucking hell, this has got to go. I can't afford legal. You know, if somebody wants to come at me with a legal case, I can't afford to pay for that. You know what I mean? That, well, I could,
especially
but
EA.
it would destroy me. I could probably do a little bit, but then I'd just be wrecked. It's like, what the hell? But I should have been covered. That's the whole point of this. So I get in touch with Polaris, and I'm like, I have this on my account. I sent them screenshots. I said, look at this. They've hit me with this copyright claim, copyright strike even. So it wasn't even a claim. It was just, you have broken the law. Have this. And they're like, okay, we'll look into it. Now, what it did to me was it meant I could not upload unlisted videos on YouTube. I couldn't change any of like the in-video program, it's called, like where you can see the little logo, or the little thing that pops up on our recent videos at the bottom, and it says like watch Civ. I think it says watch the British Empire Civ Series episode 1. Well, I couldn't change that, and it was stuck to planet side for ages, and a load of other stuff. Where basically the only thing I could really do on the YouTube channel was upload videos and change the title of the videos and the description and the tags, and I could change the channel banner. But everything else I couldn't do. I couldn't live stream as well on YouTube. That was removed from me. Now I've not done anything wrong. I'm like, this is a bit. What the fuck is this? You know, I've not done anything wrong. You know, I haven't done anything wrong. Polaris, they tried. They sent emails back and forth. Apparently, because I deleted the video, this made it much harder. However, I had the video ID. So, you know, on YouTube, when a video's got a unique URL, every video has a unique URL when you go there, you know, like a jumble of numbers and letters after youtube.com/whatever. I had that, so I said, look, I've got this. Surely they can find it in their records. I'll see it's been deleted, you know. Maybe they'll even have a copy of it. Tons of emails were sent back and forth, and it became apparent to me that nothing was going to happen. It was pretty much like, well, just deal with the copyright strike. So, because I could not go out there and force the issue, okay, any more than I could have, than I did even, I had to sit there for 6 months of this year from, like, it only expired in September, I think, with a YouTube account with limited functionality. Now, if I got another copyright strike in that time through doing something else, something similar, like, I don't know, Mr. Kirioff, uploading game footage, then, you know, so let me just explain as well why EA actually give me the copyright strike. It wasn't just random out of the blue. It wasn't like, oh, you've used the trailer so you're getting it. What it was is they had a special deal with a certain number of YouTube channels that only they could display the video, because they decided the way to launch this video, yeah, or this trailer, was not on the Battlefield channel, was to actually throw it out to all of the these like channels they selected, you know, FPS channels, Call of Duty channels, and things like that. But they never told anybody. They didn't even tell Polaris. Polaris knew nothing about this. Later on, I found out about this through a channel that actually, you know, had been told they could use the footage. See, because I just pulled it off another channel, which is like, you know, it's just a trailer. You know, it was just terrible, and it's like, so now I will never, ever, ever use a trailer ever again, unless I explicitly know that this will not hit me with a copyright strike. Because Mr. Kirioff, we were absolutely ruined for 6 months with like limited functionality, but knowing that if one more copyright strike hit us, we are absolutely fucked because we can't access the channel for 2 weeks. And then if we got another one, what am I going to do then? Because going back to the whole thing about being, you know, living paycheck to paycheck is a bit sensationalist, but needing that revenue every month for it to just be gone. It's like,
and the thing as well, it's like, it could be quite easy for people to sit there and say, well, okay, you had limited functionalities for 6 months, but actually that's not the biggest part of it. That's an inconvenience. It's a bit irritating, and it means some things can't be changed. But actually, the bigger inconvenience is the fact that for 6 months, you basically sat there going, do I want to upload this? Is this definitely going to be okay? What happens if, you know, even if it was a false copyright claim the next time, there's a apparently legitimate one that I still struggle with, because surely the whole point of that is that you let people know that you can't use it. Don't just like smash them in afterwards. That was just mental. Why they did that, I don't know. But it's not just the fact that it's limited functionality, it's the fact that for 6 months or so you are basically in a situation where you have no idea what is going to happen if you get another strike.
Yeah.
And also, because of something that you previously knew to be true, which was you can use game trailer footage, and that caused the first copyright strike. Well, then it throws into this whole thing of, well, hang on, can I even use that? You know, what is this video going to be okay? I've done something I've done before, but last time I did that, it got a strike. So, what?
Yeah, it's like you can use gameplay footage, okay, unless it's explicitly stated by the developer. You cannot use it. So, a recent example I've got is Grand Theft Auto, right? Rockstar said you cannot simply just upload the in-game television series, like just the individual shows, and upload them to YouTube. Because obviously they want people to buy the game to experience that. But you can use it if it's part of a Let's Play. Yeah, so it wasn't like you cannot have this in your video as you're dead. But if I then, knowing that, went and just uploaded that and I got a copyright strike, well, I'm stupid for doing that. But in my case with the Battlefield 4, it wasn't even, like, I was going to just say it was an honest mistake. It wasn't even an honest mistake. It was like, this is fair game, let's go. It would be like if, like, Civilization started getting copyright hits on it. But it's like, what? Why is this getting hit now? What's happening?
Yeah.
No, what's happening now? You know,
I'd say that it was a mistake, but it wasn't a mistake on your part. It was a mistake on their part because they should. In an industry where they've already allowed everything else to be monetized, why would you suddenly decide that a certain trailer cannot be monetized except by certain channels and not tell anyone? I mean, that's a breakdown on their part. They should, but then
maybe
again,
they did. Maybe they did. Maybe I didn't get told by my network. This is the problem. There's like a lot of it's like I guess there's people probably sitting out there now. Why the hell are you moaning about YouTube? You know, you guys are playing games for a living. Okay, we do, but it's obviously a lot more. There's a lot more work involved than that. And you know, I fully understand the risk we've taken going into YouTube, but it seems like even with the best network out there, in my opinion, that one simple thing like a copyright strike slammed our account basically. And if we got another one and another one, these are not legitimate copyright strikes. They're either, you know, a result of YouTube's flawed system, which does need updating. But when will that be updated? This is YouTube. They tend to not do anything ever. There seems to be more. Google seems to be more worried about bloody Google Plus integration, and I hate that stuff. It's like, oh my god, you know. But we're in a day. We live in a day and age. What? Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Day and age. In this day and age, yes. In this day and age, we live in a world where even the biggest gaming companies, the publishers, they understand the power of YouTube. They understand that it is way more beneficial to allow networks to monetize their content because they get so many more views. They get, you know, loads more advertising than they would get if they actually paid for those type of videos to be made. So we'll never see a situation where it's like EA suddenly don't want anybody uploading videos of their games. No. In fact, they've said they want people uploading games. Ubisoft, they want people uploading their games. Yeah. Everybody wants it, okay?
There's the odd bizarre exception.
Only networks can monetize it. You cannot go out and just upload footage of anything and decide to monetize it yourself. You will get hit with a copyright claim because that's not legal. If you are in a network which says you can do this, yeah, and they do contact you and say, oh, you can't, you know, use this game or whatever at the moment, blah, 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 that's fine, you know. In my case, it never with Battlefield 4 and we got slammed. And I am very frightened that that will happen again. You know, we've put 2 years of our life into this, and if some bot decides that it's going to issue us with copyright strikes that we cannot get out of in a, you know, literally immediately, we are absolutely fucked. And this is where I worry again, because I see big channels, okay, getting things done really quick. Now, let's go back to this being a business. It makes sense for the network, Polaris, TGN, Machinima, whatever, to look after their big channels. And why is that? Because they make them the most money in ad revenue, okay? Because, as I say, there's a revenue share between the content creator and the network, okay? A channel with 1 million subscribers has a problem. They're going to get that problem sorted. A channel with 25,000 subscribers, yeah, they can wait a bit. That's what worries me as well. Now, I'm not saying my network's like that, but that worries me again. It's like, it's sort of like you're getting smashed down by the man sort of thing. And that happens in every business. But with YouTube, I feel like I'm in quite a precarious situation where, I mean, to use the phrase I'm living in fear would be totally ludicrous, but you could say I am living in fear of waking up one morning and just seeing multiple copyright strikes on my account because some dev's decided he doesn't want videos of his game up there, you know, some indie dev or something. And I'm like, fucking hell, it's going to take me 2 months to get that reversed. I lose 2 months revenue. I then cannot pay the rent. I cannot pay, you know, and it's like, this is bad news.
And it's also quite hard to maintain faith in the system and the way that these things are handled with when there's already been so many examples of stuff being mangled for the sake of being mangled. Recently, the co-optional podcast that Polaris do.
That gets mangled all the time, don't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that was because they showed, a trailer for Pokemon. And it got flagged. I mean, what is that? That's actual advertising for that game, but they you know, you're not allowed to show the trailer. And so they had to remove that from the footage to be able to get the podcast onto YouTube. That's ludicrous. There's also the whole Shining Force debacle when that happened.
Oh, yeah.
So many channels got slammed with that. And the worst thing about that is, that's not even a new game. That's an old game. And that was the company coming back and trying to wipe all trace of it from the net to improve search rankings. Now, admittedly, all you get now if you search for Shining Force is the fact that scumbags decided to try and ruin the thing. But that's like, say... I mean, we did a very early on in the channel's life. We did a playthrough for Dawn of War 2 Retribution.
Yeah.
What if it was suddenly decided? Say someone obtained the Dawn of War franchise somehow. I don't know, like through when THQ lost it. Say someone had bought it and they were like, "Well, we don't want any footage of this anymore." The channel could have been shut down for something we did like nearly 2 years ago. How absurd is that? And what would we be able to do in the meantime? We'd just have to sit there and hope
this
and
is
pray.
the
And just,
it is absurd, but it's kind of within their right to do that. You know what I mean? If they do own the license to it, they can say, we own this. I don't like if I turned up and if I bought EA, right, because I was a multi-fucking billionaire, and I'm like, I'm buying EA, and everything is mine, so everything goes down, okay? Lawyers would make that happen. How would you fight that? You know, I know that's a crazy fucking example I've just given, but how would you stop that? And that's like where it becomes dangerous. This is where YouTube needs to really protect what's going on, and networks need to protect us as well, because, like I said, it's like I'm living in fear of just waking up one day and seeing the channel dead. You know,
yeah,
it's been locked out, and if that happens, then I've got to try and get it unlocked. You know, I guess this sort of happened to us when we left Machinima. We were like in a 2-month period of just doing nothing because we knew if we did anything, it would make money for a network that lied to us, and that's not the way we do business. And you know, so it is worrying. It's like, you know, this is a question I seriously ask myself all the time: is it worth carrying on with YouTube? I really enjoy YouTube. Unit Lost is growing. Unit Lost now live streams. Unit Lost got a great forum. Unit Lost got a great community. Unit Lost produces great content. All of this is coming through, but it's like, it feels as if it can just be taken away from me like that, and it's gone. And I'm like, this is making me seriously consider doing something else, because I have had job offers from companies, quite a few companies actually, and I turned them down because I've got, you know, I believe in Unit Lost. This is something I've built. You know, my history as a person, my employment history is I worked for a company for maybe 3 years, but after that I've worked for myself. You know, I've worked for myself from like the age of 20. You know, I've always had my own company. I've always done my own thing. So for me, I want to really keep doing my own thing. And Unit Lost is a great thing, but Unit Lost isn't a channel with 1 million subscribers yet, so it cannot weather this type of fucking attack that hits it. And
yeah,
and you know what, as well, you know, I've got to get this off my chest as well. Sometimes I feel like YouTube is just a massive cash grab at the moment. Like, people are doing everything they can to make as much money as they can, because then all of a sudden something is going to turn around and then revenue is going to go down the drain. You know, there's no evidence for this, but I kind of feel like that sometimes. I'm like, it's frustrating.
And the thing as well is that the main problem is not with I'd say it's not even with the companies who are making the claims, although that is an issue because fraudulent claims come through on videos, on unclaimed videos all the time. But it's the fact that Google are required to have a system by which people can, you know, protect their copyright, which is fine. That's, you know, I'm not saying we should go around breaking copyright law. That's not how it works. But there's like millions of hours. Isn't it something ridiculous? Like millions of hours of footage is uploaded to YouTube a week.
Yeah.
And they do not have they would have to have everyone in the world working for them to be able to keep a track of every single video that was uploaded to make sure that any copyright claims put on it were real. Which means that if you put a copyright claim in, it just grabs it, because that's the only way it can be done. But it's also a really inefficient and terrible way of doing it, because if it's a fraudulent claim, it takes ages to get noticed. YouTube itself, whilst it's huge on the net, is not, for the size that it is and for the amount of content it hosts, actually that big of a company. I know that sounds ridiculous, but when you consider how many hours of footage are on YouTube and how many videos are being uploaded,
see, this is the thing as well.
They do not have the people, basically, to handle as many claims as they're getting. So,
why do they not have a system in place that just deals with partner channels? Maybe they do. I don't know. You know, because at the end of the day, they should just, any channel which is not a partner channel and is uploading stuff which is copyrighted should get the videos removed. But what happens is they don't get removed. A copyright claim gets placed on it. Now, this is like a whole other aspect of the thing which I could just talk about for ages, but you get companies you've never heard of, right? So if I upload a video to YouTube, okay, on the upload screen, I've put a title in, I can put a description in, I can put a time I want the video to go live in, I can put the tags in and stuff like that, I can upload a thumbnail. But then there's a button which is claim the video, okay? Well, when you click that, it claims the video. It says, I have the right to make money off this video, YouTube. This is my video. I'm using the video footage, you know, in conjunction with my copyright agreement and all this crap with my network. And they go, great, and they put ads on it. If I don't click that button, so if I'm in a rush, right, and I upload some videos to YouTube and I leave, I go out, I come back, the videos I've uploaded, and I haven't clicked on the claim video. Super Fantastic Inc. has claimed your video as theirs, right? And I'm like, excuse me. I've just made that company name up, by the way, because I couldn't remember anyone. So I Google it, and it's like a company that does nothing, not even related to any kind of game production at all. Yet they've claimed this video. It's like, I think you're abusing the system. That goes on all the time. There's loads of people doing that. These are fraudulent copyright claims. They're not legitimate. But again,
and you know what?
If I don't claim the videos, if I upload a long video, right, and I don't claim the video, I have to then delete the video and re-upload it again and instantly claim it to get around the system. What happens if Virgin Media have capped my bandwidth? Oh, you know, it's so bad. It's like, it's just irritating.
And I mean, the level to which this happens, the extent to which this happens. My channel is not used for anything, really. It's used to comment and reply to you guys. That's about it. But every now and again, if there's something I'm playing that requires music, for instance, and I want to show someone, I'll record a video, I'll put it up. Like Symphony, for instance. I bought Symphony a while ago in a Steam sale. I played, I think it was Lola Montez by Volbeat or something, in this game. Now, obviously, showing it on the channel, that won't work because the music's copyrighted, so, you know, I wasn't going to do that. So I just did a quick short clip just to show someone what it was like, uploaded it, sent it to them. By the time they got the link, it had been claimed by edgf.co or something. They've got nothing to do with anything. It was an unlisted video that no one could see, that was like 2 minutes long, on a channel that has no subscribers and no active content, and it still got claimed. Fraudulently, instantly. I mean, that's the extent to which this is happening. It's not like you're saying that, but it's only every now and again. No,
it's every time.
It is every single time, all the time.
I swear down, if I do not claim a video as I upload it, it will get claimed by some unknown company. Like, you would think, if you put a video up for Battlefield, you would expect it to be claimed by EA, not by Super Fantastico Limited or whatever. They claim it. It's like, who the hell are these? You know, it's just... There's a lot of problems going on, and I know the YouTube copyright system is in a bit of a bad state, and this is a bit of a rant video again, but when I get down to it, and it is going on pretty long, so I'm going to end the video now because it's getting on for like 30 minutes.
Good Lord.
We understand the risks we've taken starting a YouTube channel, and Unit Lost is not just a YouTube channel. We are now going into streaming, which is great, and hopefully when our lines get up, well, when my line gets upgraded, the stream will be even better quality. That's starting to take off. You know, we've got thousands of followers on Twitter. We've got thousands of followers on YouTube. I don't like keeping all my eggs in one basket because, again, like I said, things like this could completely wipe us out if the copyright strikes come in. And hopefully this has been a little bit of an eye-opener as to how it is to kind of run a YouTube channel. It is not all fun and games. It is not, I'm sitting here, you know, because I mean, sometimes I see like innocent kids will contact me. You know, I don't care how old you are. I mean, if you've got a legitimate question, you can send it to me. And they're like, oh, I want to make a gaming channel. And I think, that's nice, but I don't think you entirely understand the, like, kind of the pressure of a gaming channel. Yeah, it's not just, like, ignore the gaming. It's a YouTube channel, so there is a whole aspect of other stuff which, like, really has to be taken into account, and it's...
There's basically, with every video that you see, there's basically a back end of a load of work and a load of rush to basically get to your own video that you've made first before anyone else does. Otherwise, you've got to start the whole process of putting it on YouTube again. You don't have to make the video again, but you've got to upload it again because someone might claim it, or someone might copyright strike it, even though it's got nothing to do with them. And it's actually doing the work is really good and it's really fun and we really enjoy it. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it. But when you see copyright strikes for stuff that you've previously been able to do without a problem, and when you see other channels getting shut down because of a game they played 2 years ago, frankly, it does worry you to a massive extent because it could be you. You know, it could be us tomorrow on something that we did months and months ago, purely because someone's had a change of heart at a company. And that's a problem. Something needs to be done to prevent that from happening. The actual content creators on YouTube need to be far more protected than they already are, because the whole point of YouTube is the content creators, and the whole basis of YouTube's financial system is the content creators and showing adverts to people who watch the content. So if the content creators get shut down all the time because of false copyright claims, that's bad for YouTube as a whole. So it's kind of baffling why nothing's been done, and we just need something to be done now, really.
The only positive thing to come out of all of this is if you watch Total Biscuit, his video, well, not watch his video, but watch the effect that had. I mean, obviously, it prompted me to make a video, and loads of other people made videos on it. What did the Gary's Incident Company do? Well, they reversed their decision. So suddenly the video's back. So there is a way YouTubers can fight back, and they do. And that's kind of the best thing about people on YouTube. Anybody with a YouTube channel generally says what the fuck they want. So they just turn up and they're like, fucking hell, and they get their point across. We're doing it now. Loads of people do it all the time on YouTube. So that's a really positive thing. It's a way where we don't just sit down and take it. But like I said, it is worrying to the extent of I could have my channel shut down. What do I tell Kiri then? I'm like, I'm sorry, but the channel's been fucking deleted. So it's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from him. I don't want that to happen, you know. So,
No.
But like I said, you know, I would be a complete liar if I said I did not entertain job offers and things like that and just didn't think in the back of my mind, you know what, maybe I should. I'd have less stress and more money, probably. So there you go, guys.
Stress is the big thing, though.
Yeah, oh, it is. So I'm just looking at myself on the thing and I'm like, I'm massively white. That's because my light... Oh! In fact, I'll end the video like this because it looks fucking amazing. So... hopefully that's been a little bit of an eye-opener into what the hell has been going on with YouTube and what goes on. And kind of, you know, asks and I guess answers the question of, is YouTube our future? And I suppose a short answer to that would be, hopefully. Who knows?
Please.
Right, guys, make sure you follow the, not follow, subscribe to the channel. And like the video if you do like the video. If you don't, then dislike it. We've been Stylosa and Kiri, and this has been HOTFIX, and we'll catch you next time, people. Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.